Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I wanted to do a tell-all video about my experience getting out of debt in my 20s. This was such a pivotal experience for me, and I learned so much about personal finance, priorities, and myself in the process. I racked up nearly $30,000 in debt during my early and mid-20s. This included credit card debt, student loans, and a car loan. I want to share the best and worst parts of finally becoming debt-free at 28 years old after 3 intense years of budgeting, strategizing, and making sacrifices. My hope is that my story will help motivate anyone trying to get out of debt or just be smarter with their money. Let's get into it. The worst parts. Cutting expenses. The first and hardest part was cutting way back on expenses. I had to go through every single monthly expense and trim as much fat as possible. This meant downgrading my apartment, going out to eat way less, canceling all unnecessary subscriptions, and really watching my budget for little expenses like coffee and drinks out. At times it felt depriving, but it allowed me to put way more money towards paying off my debts each month. Feeling left out. Another tough part was that my social life took a hit during this time. When your friends are still regularly going out for nice dinners and happy hours during the week, but you have to say no because of your tight budget, it can lead to feeling left out. There were times I felt embarrassed or like I was missing out on making memories. Sacrificing short-term fun. Similarly, I had to sacrifice some short-term fun and enjoyment to maintain my focus on getting debt-free. I couldn't buy new clothes, take vacations, or even do home renovations I wanted to do, like redecorate or buy new furniture. Delayed gratification was the name of the game for a few years. The best parts. Freedom. But by far the greatest part was the feeling of freedom I had when I made that final debt payment. It felt like this huge weight had been lifted, knowing I no longer owed anyone money. I could finally use my income towards building savings, investing, or even splurging on things that really matter to me from time to time without the cloud of debt hanging over me. Discipline and resilience. Getting out of debt in my 20s taught me so much about self-discipline, resilience, and maintaining focus on long-term goals, skills that have served me well in other areas of life too. I had to train myself to resist temptation, squash bad money habits, and persist through difficult times without swerving off course. These were invaluable lessons. Mindset shift. Most importantly, getting out debt changed my whole mindset and relationship with money. No longer was I irresponsible, careless, or lacking awareness about my finances. I became empowered, strategic, and intentional with saving and spending instead. It forced me to grow up, and I'm so glad for that. Specific strategies. Okay, now let's get into the nitty-gritty strategies I used to finally kick debt to the curb. Avalanche method. First, I used something called the debt avalanche method, where you list out all your debts from highest to lowest interest rate, maintain minimum payments on all debts except the most expensive one, and put any extra money towards that most expensive debt first. Once that's paid off, you snowball all of that money towards the next highest interest debt, and so on, until everything is paid off. This saves money on interest payments. Side hustles. Another key tactic was taking on side hustles whenever possible for extra income I could use just for debt payments. Some side hustles I did included survey taking, freelance writing, rideshare driving, and selling clothing online. Even an extra $200,300 a month makes a difference. 0% balance transfer. I also did a balance transfer to a 0% interest credit card. This allowed me to pay off that credit card debt without accruing more interest for 12–18 months. Just make sure you have a plan to pay off the full balance before the 0% period ends, or that interest will kick right back in. Paying minimums first. My strategy always involved paying minimum payments on all debts first before putting any extra money towards one of the debts I was targeting. This kept things in good standing while I worked on eliminating debts one by one. Automation. I automated payments on all debts so I wouldn't ever miss or be late on the minimum payment. Set it and forget it so I could focus on where to allocate any extra dollars instead of worrying if basic payments were covered. Sold car. At one point I sold my financed car that had a $300 monthly payment and bought a used car in cash instead. That freed up a lot of money to tackle higher interest credit card debts more aggressively. Celebrating small wins. Finally, celebrating small debt elimination wins helped keep me motivated. Even paying off a $500 credit card was cause for celebration. Having short-term goals on the way to the bigger goal can help you feel a sense of accomplishment as you go. Conclusion. So there you have it. A complete tell-all on how I managed to get completely out of debt in just a few years in my late 20s. It took strategic effort and sacrifice, but was so beyond worth it. I hope this give you inspiration and ideas for your own debt payoff journey. Stick with it, stay focused, and that light at the end of the tunnel will keep getting bigger and bigger. You've got this. If you have any other questions for me about getting out of debt, just leave me comment below. And if you found this video helpful, please give me a like and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more money tips every week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.